got it? Why do you think she flipped and she runs to the village telling everybody, look, look, look? Because if you read it on the surface, ain't that much happening here that you need to run to the village and tell the whole world? There were deep layered connections happening. There were deep unraveling of her heart, her desire, her need. She understood what she had been looking for. This is the husband. This is him. He is here. This is the worship that she had yearned for. And you could see her knowledge of where to worship. She's the one that brings up the argument to Jesus of, you Jews say we must worship in Jerusalem. Our fathers worship. She is aware. She is somebody who is fully aware and engaged in that whole need for worship. And the Lord just beautifully brings the whole thing to a sweet conclusion. Years of trying, years of worshiping, years of feeling unfulfilled, years of needing that deep connection, years of seeking a husband, years of, unity, years of seeking that unity, that oneness that can only really be replicated generally in a marriage of unity. God, her husband. Jesus, her husband. That's what I saw here. That's what I see. I see a God that loves us so much. I see a God that will go out of his way to meet your yearning, your deep desire for him wherever you are. I see a God who thinks very differently from the way we think. I see a need for us to, if it were possible, shake out our head like this, empty all the rubbish in it that we have learned by the ways of the world, and really understand that we need to assimilate his consciousness, his way of thinking, which is so dissimilar from how we think. It is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight, but step by step, recognizing that our thought patterns are not right, willing to make the changes, journey with him, trusting him. He has got you. He will catch you. He will lead you. If you want him, you will have him. He will find you, because that's what he does. He's a lover. So he found her. And here's the thing. When she runs off to the village, they made it very clear. How much water did she give Jesus? How much water did she give Jesus? She left her entire pot. Everything she pulled out of that well, she left it at the pot with Jesus, and runs off to the village to spread the news of what she has discovered. Jesus only asked her for a drink of water. No matter how thirsty he was, he couldn't have drank the whole, pot. When you see people give offerings that blow your mind, when you see them put everything that they have before the living God, is because they have been touched. They understand. There's an exchange. They are receiving the source of prosperity. They are receiving the very source. And because the source is so big, magnanimous. I'm losing adjectives here. Because the source is so grand, literally your mind is blown, and you will leave everything to him, because what you're giving is so teeny weeny weeny in comparison with the source. So she gave all of her offering, all of her water offering, every single last drop. She left it at the well with Jesus because she had something. He had given her the source of prosperity, the source of living water, the source. That's how you know she got it. Because if she hadn't received it, she'd have still been mindful of taking some water. She had the source and she ran. And this is another thing that happens when you have the source. Nobody tells you this. You have the source in you. Because it's a bubbling wellspring of water, you have to share. It's like a dam. It's going to burst. She takes the source of water and she gushes to the village, and whoo, all of that living water gushes out of her. I met a man that told me everything that I am, everything I ever did. You know, blah, blah, because she had the source. And when you have the source of prosperity, it's the same thing. You are literally looking for avenues, people to bless. You can it chokes. The true source flows. You cannot cap it. The true source flows. Boom. You must share. And that's why God is a sharer. He can't keep. Because he's the source. He just cannot keep it. And she rushes off and does the same thing. Now here's another interesting thing that I saw, and I really found it fascinating. The disciples came back. They saw Jesus talking to her. They didn't say anything. They were been. When she runs off, he goes, okay, Rabbi, Jesus, you're going to eat something? We went all this way to the city to get you some food, so eat. And Jesus goes, I got food of which you know not. Now, here is two mindsets working. Okay, let's not use mindset. No, two consciousness. What is Jesus conscious of when he's saying, I have food that you do not know of? What are the disciples thinking when they're going, who gave him food? What's he talking about? I mean, where did he get food to eat? The disciples' consciousness, like most of us, is of the earth. It's earth-minded. We were born here. We were raised here. Everything we know is here. And we're still of the earth. Why is he not eating? We know he's hungry. He probably still looks famished. Why is he not eating? Who gave him food? What happened here? We went all the way to the city to get him food, and now he's not eating. And I'm sure that Samaritan woman couldn't, because she's Samaritan. I mean, why? I mean, he wouldn't eat for him, So their mind is just on overdrive, thinking, what's happening here? Jesus's consciousness is somewhere else. It's heavenly minded. It's God consciousness. What is this food? The need to finish the spiritual task outweighed the need to eat food. Because if you get the spiritual empowerment, you can actually say to the body, be silent. And even the necessity of food, you really don't have to eat it. Seriously, I'm a foodie. I love my food. I mean, you have no idea. If anyone's been following my blogs and things, I love my food. But when it comes to spiritual things, we have to understand that the spiritual desire and appetite must outweigh our earthly appetites. The desire, the appetite to complete what he needed to do. He knew more people were coming. He knows the process. He knows that when the source is given to someone, the person is not going to have a choice but to go blah, 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 blah. And that sharing of source brings more people. That's what it does. So he knows the job is not complete yet. There is still, I mean, he has more to do. He is in a state of waiting for the people to then talk to them, to then download more. That appetite, that desire outweighs, is subject to the earthly desire of the need to eat. What is it? Well, I mean, what food? I'm over 40 now, so I think everything in the world that there is to eat, I've eaten it. So that's been there, done that. What food? I mean, what? He knows he's not going to faint because he's connected to God. He knows he can just say, tummy be full. He's connected to God. He could do anything. It outweighs the earthly desire. So food, weight. This is weightier. This is what trips me. This is, I mean, I'll give you an example. It's still within the earthly region. There's some people who rather be a size 8 and wear lovely clothes than eat. So you already have people like that. The desire for wearing clothes and things like that outweighs the need to eat for them. Me, it's the other way around. I rather eat than wear the clothes. But yeah, that is what we're talking about. When our spiritual desires start outweighing, taking precedence, maybe not outweigh, takes precedence over our earthly appetites, we're doing good. We are doing good. So, brothers and sisters, I do hope that has been interesting and you have learned a thing or two. I pray to God that you will study this and even more knowledge and more revelation comes to you. I pray that the working of God in the Sumerian woman, that same working as quickly flows through you with your willingness to change, with your willingness to understand. I pray that the principles are evident to you and that your giving grows because you know who you are giving to. Remember, it's not really the amount, it's about percentages. Love you, brothers and sisters. The Lord be with you. The Lord keep you. The Lord bless you with himself as he already has. May the revelation of his word be clear to you. Have a good day, beloved.